Happiness does not arrive in a box. It's not something someone else can give you, not your parents, not your partner, not your employer. It's not waiting for you in a new car or a corner office. The world may sell you those illusions, but real happiness is not bought, gifted, or found. It's built step by step, choice by choice, through discomfort, discipline, and deliberate intention. You earn happiness by doing hard things. You earn it by waking up when you don't feel like it, by doing the work when it's not convenient, by pushing through when everything inside you wants to quit. That's how fulfillment is created. Through effort, not ease. There is no shortcut, no hack, no cheat code. You can chase distractions, likes, validation, cheap dopamine, but they won't last. They'll keep you hungry and hollow because they weren't earned. They were consumed, and consumption doesn't satisfy for long. Creation does. Happiness is earned through creation, of purpose, of value, of meaning. When you create something real, something that reflects your truth, you feel alive. And in that aliveness is a kind of happiness no external reward can match. It's not about comfort, it's about alignment. Comfort is the trap. It tells you to stay where it's safe. It whispers that effort is overrated. But comfort is not happiness. Comfort is maintenance. It's sedation. It's the absence of risk and the absence of growth. And without growth, there's no fulfillment. Without fulfillment, there's no lasting happiness. True happiness is found in becoming, in evolving, in closing the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. That process is not easy. It's demanding. It asks for sacrifice. It asks for resilience. It asks you to keep going when there's no applause, no paycheck, no guarantee. But that's where happiness hides, inside that tension, that stretch, that discomfort. It's in showing up when it's hard. It's in choosing character over convenience. It's in knowing you gave your best when you could have given up. That internal pride can't be bought. It has to be earned. Happiness isn't passive. It doesn't drift into your life. It must be pursued intentionally, fiercely. You don't stumble into a meaningful life. You build it, brick by brick, day by day, through consistent action and ruthless honesty. It's earned through discipline, through doing the thing you said you would do, especially when you no longer feel like doing it. That kind of integrity, keeping promises to yourself, is the foundation of self-respect. And self-respect is one of the deepest forms of happiness there is. It's earned through choosing values over validation. When you stop living for approval and start living for alignment, you begin to feel peace. When your life matches your principles, happiness follows, not instantly, but inevitably. It's earned through adversity, through failure, through loss. Those aren't detours. They are the way because they shape you. They strip away the ego. They reveal what matters. And if you let them, they forge you into someone strong enough to carry the weight of happiness. Happiness is not always a feeling. Sometimes it's a decision. A decision to stay grateful when things are hard. A decision to stay committed when you're tired. A decision to keep your vision alive when the world goes silent. You earn that emotional state by choosing the mindset that produces it. You earn happiness by paying the price that others avoid, by waking up early, studying late, starting over, failing forward, by risking your reputation, betting on your dream, speaking your truth when it's easier to stay silent. There's a cost to happiness, but the price of not pursuing it is much higher. No one can do this work for you. No one can live your life. No one else is responsible for your fulfillment. Not your parents. Not your boss. Not society. The pursuit of happiness is your job. And if you don't take it seriously, you'll spend your life chasing cheap imitations. Earn it, not with noise, but with effort. Not with theory, but with action. Not with intentions, but with execution. Let your life be the evidence. Let your results be the proof. The things that nearly destroy you often become the fuel that defines you. Pain doesn't just scar, it strengthens. It doesn't just bruise, it builds. The most resilient people on this planet are not the ones who have had it easy. They're the ones who have faced hardship and refused to let it break them. Your pain is not a weakness. It's raw energy, and when you learn how to harness it, when you stop running from it and start owning it, it becomes your superpower. What once brought you to your knees becomes the very thing that elevates you. But only if you're willing to confront it. There's a reason the most powerful stories are born from struggle. Pain creates depth. It forces reflection. It awakens truth. It strips away what's shallow, what's performative, what doesn't matter. In the fire of adversity, everything false burns away, and what's left is real. What's left is strong. What's left is you. No growth comes without discomfort. No breakthrough without breakdown. No evolution without pain. You want to be better? Expect to hurt. You want to lead? Expect to lose. You want to build something meaningful? Expect to suffer for it. Not once, over and over. Pain isn't the exception on the path to greatness. It's the toll. Pain teaches what comfort hides. It shows you what you're made of. It reveals your true capacity. It stretches you beyond what you thought was possible. When you hit rock bottom, you realize something important. You survived. And if you survived, you can rebuild. You can adapt. You can rise. Your story of struggle can become someone else's roadmap. When you share your pain, not as a victim, but as a victor, you offer others hope. You remind them they're not alone, that their wounds can heal, that their mess can become meaning, that their pain can lead to purpose. It's not about denying pain. It's about transforming it. You don't pretend it didn't happen. You don't bury it, you face it, you feel every inch of it, and then you use it. You turn it into energy, into insight, into fuel. You turn pain into power by refusing to waste it. The people who reach the highest levels of impact and fulfillment are not the ones who avoid pain. They are the ones who use it. They channel their frustration into innovation, their grief into art, their rejection into resilience, their failure into fuel. They don't run from what hurt them. They alchemize it. There's power in taking control of your narrative, in saying, this happened, but it didn't destroy me, it shaped me. When you stop hiding your scars and start owning them, you step into your strength. You become unshakable, not because life stopped being hard, but because you stopped being fragile. Resilience isn't inherited, it's earned. It's forged in the moments no one sees. When you're crying behind closed doors but still show up the next morning. When you're doubting yourself but choose to keep going anyway. When everything in you wants to quit, but something deeper says, not yet. That's where strength is born. You don't need to wait until you're healed to take action. Move while it still hurts. Build while you're still bleeding. Speak even when your voice shakes. You don't have to be whole to be worthy. Your brokenness doesn't disqualify you. It qualifies you to lead others through the same storm. Pain will either define you or drive you. It will either consume you or refine you. The choice is yours. You can carry it like a burden, or you can lift it like a torch. You can let it crush you, or you can let it carve you into something greater. Your pain gives you access to a kind of empathy, focus, and grit that can't be taught in books. It's not theoretical, it's lived. And that lived experience gives you a level of authority, a presence, a power that others feel. That's not something you can fake. It's real, it's earned. Some of the greatest breakthroughs are born from breakdowns. Some of the most beautiful chapters begin with pain. Don't hide from yours, don't numb it. Don't waste it, own it, harness it. Let it build you into someone unstoppable. Pleasure is temporary, purpose is lasting. Pleasure fades as soon as the moment ends. Purpose echoes. It continues to speak. even when no one is clapping. Even when you're tired, even when you're alone, when you live for purpose, you play a longer game. The world is full of distractions dressed as satisfaction. Fast food, viral trends, cheap dopamine. They make you feel good for a second and empty for hours. They take your attention, your energy, your time, and give you nothing back. Purpose gives back. It multiplies. Pleasure seeks escape. Purpose demands engagement. When you chase pleasure, you numb, you avoid, you retreat. But when you follow purpose, you face, you build, you rise, you become a better version of yourself, not just a more entertained one. Purpose isn't glamorous at first. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't sell fast. It asks questions you'd rather not answer. It makes you uncomfortable because it forces you to look in the mirror and ask, what am I really here to do? And once you hear that answer, you can't unhear it. When you start prioritizing purpose, things shift. Your circle gets smaller. Your choices get clearer. You start saying no more often, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. You no longer say yes to every invitation, every trend, every distraction, because you're building something bigger than the moment. The world doesn't reward the most entertained. It rewards the most focused. Focus doesn't come from doing more. It comes from knowing why you're doing what you're doing, why it matters. Purpose gives your life that why. It roots you. There's a reason people who live with purpose walk differently. They speak differently. They don't chase applause. They chase impact. They don't fear boredom. They embrace discipline because they've realized that greatness isn't about how fast you get there. It's about what you build along the way. Pleasure is about now. Purpose is about forever. You can chase what feels good, or you can build what does good for others, for yourself, for something that outlives you. That's purpose. That's the path. Discipline flows from purpose. You can't fake it. If you're constantly fighting yourself to stay consistent, you might be chasing something shallow. When you align with purpose, discipline stops feeling like a burden. It becomes a commitment, not something you have to do, something you get to do. Purpose doesn't always feel good. Some days it hurts. Some days it's exhausting, but it's worth it. It pulls you through the seasons when motivation is gone. It holds you steady when results are delayed. It keeps you grounded when pressure rises. Pleasure is reactive. It waits to be offered. Purpose is proactive. It moves first. You don't find purpose by sitting still. You find it by moving, creating, serving, failing, building. You find it in the work, in the sacrifice, in the doing. Your purpose will demand you evolve. It will demand you stretch. It will call you to stop settling, stop hiding, stop waiting for perfect conditions. Purpose doesn't wait for comfort. It creates clarity in the chaos, and that clarity is more valuable than any momentary rush. Pleasure fades when no one is watching. Purpose grows when no one is clapping. You don't need an audience to pursue purpose. You don't need praise. You don't even need proof yet. All you need is the conviction that what you're doing matters, and if it matters, you keep showing up. Most people don't burn out because they're doing too much. They burn out because they're doing too little that feels meaningful. Purpose is the antidote to burnout. When your actions connect to something greater than you, your energy multiplies. Your endurance expands. You were not made to live for likes, trends, or comfort. You were made to contribute, to create, to move people, to lead, to serve, and to do that, you need to stop prioritizing what's easy and start prioritizing what's meaningful. Pleasure gives you comfort. Purpose gives you direction. Pleasure makes you feel good. Purpose makes you better, better for your family, better for your mission, better for the world. Purpose doesn't ask, what do I want now? It asks, what will I be proud of later? If you want a life that fulfills you, prioritize purpose. Let it guide your schedule, your energy, your focus. Let it shape your habits, your standards, your vision. Let it decide where you go and who you become on the way. There will be moments in life when the world looks the other way, when the people you expect to support you, friends, family, colleagues aren't convinced, when doubt is louder than encouragement, when the room feels empty and you're left standing alone with your vision. These moments test you. They expose your true character. They ask the fundamental question, do you believe in yourself when no one else does? Betting on yourself means placing a wager on your own potential, your own capacity to grow, learn, and create, even when external validation is missing. It means recognizing that your worth, your ability to succeed, is not contingent on the approval of others. You own your story. You own your future. This belief isn't arrogance. It's courage. It's the foundation for all breakthrough. The truth is, the most impactful people often start their journeys alone. When you dare to pursue something new, unconventional, or risky, the natural response from others is skepticism. It's not because they don't want you to succeed, but because your vision challenges their comfort zones. When you chase a dream that feels too big, too wild, too uncertain, it makes others uncomfortable. That discomfort can translate into doubt, dismissal, or indifference. But the question isn't about others. It's about you. Are you willing to stand firm in your conviction? To keep moving forward even when no one else is clapping? To trust your inner voice when the noise of doubt surrounds you? Betting on yourself is an act of defiance against fear and uncertainty. It's a declaration that your potential is greater than your circumstances. Self-belief is the fuel for persistence. Without it, setbacks become stopping points. Failures become proof that you were right to quit. But with belief, setbacks become lessons. Failures become stepping stones. When you bet on yourself, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. The road won't be easy. It will demand resilience and patience. You'll face moments when your confidence falters, when insecurity creeps in, when the voices in your head say you're not good enough, not ready enough, not worthy enough. But the difference is, betting on yourself means showing up anyway. It means continuing the work even when you feel small, uncertain, or overwhelmed. This isn't about reckless optimism. It's about calculated faith. It's about doing the hard work, learning the craft, and being honest with yourself about your progress. It's about recognizing your weaknesses, but choosing to grow anyway. It's about celebrating small wins and using them to build momentum. Betting on yourself means investing in your growth, time, energy, and resources, even when there's no guarantee of success. It means reading the books, acquiring new skills, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better, even if those people aren't your biggest fans. It means being your own biggest champion when the crowd goes silent. The greatest breakthroughs in history didn't happen because the world was ready for them. They happened because individuals refused to wait for permission. They bet on their own ideas, their own talents, their own vision. They didn't wait for a green light. They created one, and in doing so, they changed the world. There's power in owning your path. When you stop looking for external approval, you reclaim your energy. You stop wasting time trying to convince others. You focus on your craft, your mission, your growth. That focus breeds clarity, and clarity breeds results. Sometimes betting on yourself means making hard choices, walking away from toxic relationships, leaving secure jobs, ignoring naysayers, and risking failure. It means embracing uncertainty as a necessary companion on your journey. It means accepting that you might fail, but knowing that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. You'll find that the more you bet on yourself, the more the universe aligns with your belief. Opportunities show up, doors open, people start to notice your commitment. Confidence grows not because you have all the answers, but because you've decided to take control of your story regardless. Betting on yourself is an act of responsibility. You acknowledge that no one else is going to live your dreams for you. No one else will put in the work, face the failures, and celebrate the victories. That burden and privilege falls squarely on your shoulders. And that realization is liberating. It means your success is in your hands, your happiness, your fulfillment, your legacy. No one else controls those but you. That's why betting on yourself is the most powerful investment you can make. It's a commitment to your future, your impact, and your potential. In the quiet moments when doubt whispers, remember that the greatest risk is not betting on yourself at all. The greatest failure is not trying. The greatest loss is living a life that isn't yours. So when the world doubts, when others turn away, stand tall. Keep moving forward, because your belief in yourself is the spark that ignites everything else. Resilience is not a trait you're simply born with. It's a skill that's developed through intentional practice, experience, and mindset. It's the ability to withstand setbacks, disappointments, and failures while continuing to move forward with determination. When pursuing any meaningful goal, especially one worth chasing, failure is inevitable. Success rarely arrives on a smooth path. Resilience acts as the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Many people misunderstand resilience as simply enduring hardship or suffering in silence. But resilience is far more active than that. It's about bouncing back, yes, but also about learning, adapting, and growing stronger with every challenge. It's about using obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to build mental toughness and emotional strength. To cultivate resilience, you must embrace a mindset that views failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Each setback carries valuable lessons if you're willing to look for them. When you internalize this, the fear of failure diminishes because failure no longer means the end. It means you are learning, iterating, and refining your approach. The most resilient individuals understand the power of perspective. They don't let temporary difficulties define their identity or their future. They separate their worth from their failures and keep their focus on the long-term vision. This ability to hold the big picture steady during turbulent times is critical. It provides motivation and context when the immediate experience feels discouraging. Resilience also requires emotional regulation. When things go wrong, it's natural to feel frustration, anger, or disappointment. However, resilient people acknowledge those feelings but refuse to let them dictate their actions. They cultivate emotional intelligence by recognizing their emotions, understanding their sources, and responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. This practice prevents burnout and keeps them mentally agile. Another key to resilience is persistence. Consistency in effort, even when progress seems slow or invisible, separates those who eventually succeed from those who give up. It's the small daily actions, showing up, putting in the work, recommitting to your goals, that build unstoppable momentum over time. Resilience fuels this persistence by providing the inner strength to stay committed despite obstacles. Building a support system is also essential. Resilience doesn't mean going it alone. Even the strongest leaders seek connection, encouragement, and advice from mentors, peers, or loved ones. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in your vision and hold you accountable can rejuvenate your energy and perspective when you're struggling. Community becomes a source of resilience that multiplies your ability to overcome adversity. Resilience requires flexibility and adaptability. The path to success is rarely linear, Plans must change, strategies must evolve, and sometimes you have to pivot completely. Being rigid in the face of failure only prolongs pain and delays progress. Resilient individuals embrace change as an inevitable part of growth and are willing to adjust their approach while keeping their end goal in sight. Self-care is often overlooked but plays a crucial role in resilience. Physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being provide the foundation for enduring stress and hardship. Neglecting rest, nutrition, and recovery weakens your capacity to cope and increases vulnerability to burnout. Prioritizing self-care replenishes the reserves you need to keep moving forward during challenging times. Resilience is also about having a clear why, a purpose that anchors you when the going gets tough. Without a meaningful reason to persevere, motivation will wane. A strong sense of purpose ignites passion, fuels courage, and sustains commitment. It reminds you that the discomfort of today is the price of the impact and fulfillment you seek tomorrow. It's important to realize resilience is not about perfection. You will stumble, you will falter, you will question yourself. Resilience is about getting back up again and again with humility and courage. It's about embracing vulnerability as part of strength. It's about knowing that each time you overcome adversity, you're building a reservoir of confidence that prepares you for the next challenge. Stories of success are often told without the failures and struggles behind them. This creates a false narrative that achievement happens effortlessly. But resilience reveals the truth. Success is earned through grit, hard work, and the willingness to face hardship head on. Those who master resilience don't just survive adversity. They transform it into fuel that propels them forward. When you develop resilience, you gain more than just the ability to endure difficulty. You gain the capacity to innovate under pressure, make clearer decisions, and inspire others with your tenacity. Resilience creates a mindset where obstacles become puzzles to solve rather than insurmountable walls. This mindset shift is the real competitive advantage. Ultimately, resilience bridges the gap between ambition and achievement. It is the inner armor that protects you from giving up when results are delayed. It is the engine that powers you through rejection, criticism, and failure. It is the force that transforms dreams into reality by keeping you moving forward, no matter the odds.